Hi there. Welcome, welcome. This is Humanity Chats with Margie. We're coming to you on a special Monday with a special edition. We're calling this Women in Politics. If you're here, welcome. We're going to be talking to Jessica Coker, CPA, who is actually running for a seat in Spartanburg County, District 6. So if you're a fan of Jessica, share this with your friends. Make sure they know that she is joining us because guess what? We're going to the polls March 23rd, and so I bet people would like to hear where Jessica stands. She's going to talk about her vision for Spartanburg. She will talk about education, the economy, health, all the good stuff. Why she is interested in running for office. And so, viewers, thank you for joining us. Welcome to our Facebook viewers. Welcome to our YouTube viewers, podcast listeners. It's always a joy to have you here. Tell folks that you're watching Jessica at 7 p.m. We're going to be joined by Lakeisha Whitner, who is also running for the same seat. And so we're looking forward to to having both ladies on the show. This is Women's History Month, and we are honored to be showcasing these powerful women who have taken a stance and are going to be representing their constituents. And so I think Jessica is in the green room. We're gonna, okay, this is wrong. Sorry, this is Jessica's show. We just had Lakeisha sign up. So now I lost my train of thought because of that. We're sorry, viewers. And so just hang on tight. I think Jessica is in the green room. She is waiting, and so we're gonna get her with us soon. Hold on tight. We're working on it. Jessica's going to join us soon. Hello.
Hey, Margie.
Hi, Jessica. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so great. Thank you for having me.
It is good to have you. Now, I bet everybody wants to know a little bit more about Jessica. So tell us, who is Jessica?
So I've quickly become a big fan of Margie's. I just wanted to tell you that. And I love your podcast, and I've been reading The Shimmigrant, and I absolutely love it. I only have a few minutes to read every day, but it does really well in the little short chapters and I've really enjoyed being able to get that every evening before I go to bed. So I just want to tell you that first. So a little bit about me. I am a CPA. I am the Republican nominee for the March 23rd special election for Spartanburg County Council District 6. Both my husband and I were born and raised in Spartanburg, and we are both Dorman High School graduates. We currently live in Roebuck, South Carolina, with our 4-year-old son and our 3-month-old daughter. She keeps us busy. And I also serve as the treasurer of the Glen Springs Preservation Society and the Spartanburg County Historical Association. I have a passion for history, and I really think that history needs to be preserved for our next generation. So that's just a passion of mine. Like I said, I am a CPA and a small business owner. My mom and I have a small firm downtown Spartanburg, and we specialize in servicing small businesses and startups and making sure that they survive in that really critical time. We have clients of all backgrounds, from those that earn income credit and are struggling to multimillionaires. So I really see the entire gamut and how legislation affects everyone. Last year, my staff and I worked on over 100 applications for financial aid at the federal, state, and local level to make sure that our small businesses made it through the pandemic, which I'm really proud of. I'm able to see things from a different point. This work gives me a good vantage point. I can see things from the side of employers versus employees. I can see white collar versus blue collar. I can see struggling and wealthy. So I have vast client base, and I think that gives me a unique perspective that I'm ready to take to the council. So I have never ran for office before. I can tell you that as a CPA, most CPAs are introverted, and I am the poster child for that. But I really feel God calling me to do this and pushing me out of my comfort zone. And so I'm ready to do what it takes. And on county council, I want to focus on three main things. One is small businesses and jobs. The other is to increase fiscal responsibility and transparency. And then the other is to improve education in neighborhoods. And so that's just a little about me.
Wow, Jessica, we're done with the interview because you told me why you're running, what you're going to do when you're on county council. You gave me the lowdown on you being a CPA. I mean, all right, viewers, we will see you next time.
Well, I'm to the point kind of gal.
I enjoyed learning about you. And hey, for you small businesses out there, Jessica says she could give you a discount if you go to her.
We are so slammed. It's tax season for us too. So most people call me crazy that I have a newborn. I'm running for county council. I'm a small business owner, and it's tax season. But I love it. I love being busy. I thrive on going fast paced. It's really been really fun, actually.
But you know what? Isn't that what women do? We have that superpower.
Absolutely. Multitasking champs right here. Yeah.
Well, Jessica, before we go any further, I know you've given me the background about what you do and why you're running and what you're going to be doing when you get to county council. But share a fun fact with us. What do you like to do for fun, or what's something that others don't know about you?
So I was hoping you would ask me this question. I love that you ask all of your contributors on this show that question. I don't pole dance. I wish I was as awesome as that lady that said she could pole dance, because that's not me. But one really interesting fact about me is that I have 15 chickens. I live in the country, and when my husband and I got married, I'm really a goal setter. I like to set goals for myself and reach for those goals. I feel like if you're not going forward, you're going backwards type thing. So we set this goal that we want to eventually, and this may take 30 years, but get to a point where I can have an entire week of meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days, 21 meals of things that we either grew or raised ourselves. So to start that journey, we got chickens, and we have a small garden, and then we started bees last year, and that was a total failure. So hopefully we'll try that again and slowly work towards that goal. But it's something that we can do together, and that we can love each other in and encourage each other in. That doesn't have to do with work or anything that's stressful. It's a way to release that stress outside.
Wow, I love learning that fun fact about you. That's great that you have chickens and that you set goals. So that means when you set goals, it's baby steps, but you get there. You eventually get there. Thank you for sharing that. Now to the main question, and which you know it, we have only 20 minutes left, so we're gonna be running through these questions. We got a few to go. Why are you running for office, Jessica?
Oh, that's a great question. So I will tell you that this started 4 years ago. I attended a leadership conference put on by the South Carolina Association of CPAs. And at that leadership conference, there was a panel of CPAs leading in their field, one in governmental, one in industry, one in public practice, and so on. And each person had their own take of what a leader means in their industry. Well, there was a public practice lady who was actually serving on her county council. And I thought then, wow, that is a really cool way to give our skills, right? One of the main tasks of county council is to set the county budget, right? And every county council needs a financial background person, right? They need somebody who's looking out for the welfare of the taxpayer. And so I thought then 4 years ago, I had a young son at the time, and was really kind of starting my family. Also, Roger Nutt was serving as my representative for District 6, and he was doing a great job. So there was really no reason to run. But I just decided to pray about it. Right. Let's pray about it. God, if you want me to do something to lead in my county, that is something that I saw you show me, and if that's where you want me to go, I'll be happy to. So at that same conference, I met a lady who was from Spartanburg, and she was part of that panel. And she and I asked her to be my mentor, right? So I think that having a mentor, specifically in your field or where you want to go, is super important. So I asked her then, would you be my mentor? We have lunch maybe once a quarter and encourage one another. And I told her after that conference that would be so cool to run for county council. Well, when Roger decided to go to the state house, he asked her, do you know anybody that would be willing to run for county council? And he said, oh, I got your girl. She said, oh, I got your girl. So we all had lunch together, and he asked me to run. And so here we are. And I really thought my husband, who's usually my brake pedal, like, hold up, we got a lot going on. Do you really? And I was 5 months pregnant at the time too. Okay. Yeah. And so he was like, I really expected him to say, now, Jessica, you're 5 months pregnant. Hold up. And he said, oh yeah, we got this. You can do it. And I was like, okay. And then my mother, who's my business partner, and usually she's like, I'm gonna need you to get to work. She was like, oh yeah, you can do it. We got this. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So here I am, and so many things have fallen into place that we could go on and on about that, that have shown me that I'm where I need to be. And I cannot wait to get to work for Spartanburg County.
Wow. So you have that support system. You have that great husband. You have Representative Roger Nutt motivating you to run. That is, you have a village behind you, which is amazing. Usually, some people may have others discouraging them, and for your husband to motivate you, even though you had a young one, that's impressive. Now, viewers, this is Jessica's district. As you can tell, that's District 6. You go on from Reedville, Roebuck, Spartanburg. And so if you're wondering if you are in Jessica's district, this is the map of her district. This is good to hear, Jessica. Now, I have another question for you, and I just have to remind you on the time. We have about 15 minutes to go, and we have questions on diversity and inclusion, equity, empathy, economy, education, and health. So we can pace ourselves. I'm telling you, just so that we can pace ourselves, because we want everybody to know your thoughts. Now, what are your thoughts on equity in Spartanburg County, and how are you going to help with that once you get to County Council?
Right. Okay. So I want to come back to in your conversation with Jalitha Moore, and she kind of gave you the difference between equity and equality, right? So equity meaning that you allocate resources to have the same outcome, right? And equality meaning that you have the same resources to all. So I thought that was very enlightening. From her to differentiate the two. And my thoughts on that is that government needs to stay out of that. And I will, and let me just tell you why. When people are forced to do something, it causes people cause hostility, right? on both sides, right? If government says, okay, well, I'm gonna lift up one over the other, and then if those promises aren't fulfilled, then that causes distrust. Whereas on the other side, if someone is getting benefit over somebody else, they're gonna have hostility towards the other side. That causes division, right? So, but when people do something because they're forced to do it, it causes division. But if people do it because they want to, that brings people together. And so I really think that the nonprofit world and even for-profit world, so like things that you're doing, Marjorie, I think is so amazing, right? To bring people together. I love the way you lead with positivity, and we need more of that in the world. It does not need to be from government's point of view, because the way that I see it, government needs to provide us with the things we can't provide for ourselves, right? So that is infrastructure for sure, right? We couldn't effectively pave our roads together. Like that would be horrible. So we got to collect money and then pave our roads, right? We can't have a fire station and for free, right? We've got to come up with a way to pay for that, and that make sure that infrastructure is available. But as far as equity goes, we need to rely on the community leaders and the nonprofit world and encourage everyone so that we can make progress, because government's just going to, when they stick their toes in it, they're just going to create more diversity, more hostility.
Okay. Well, thank you for your answer. And that leads me to the next one, which is on the economy. And I know you would love to talk about the economy. You know what's happening now. Employment, jobs, and small businesses is your thing. So tell us, what is your vision and where do you see us going?
Yeah, so we could talk about this for the next 20 minutes for sure. That's what I specialize in, is employment and small businesses. Like I said in my intro, that we've done over 100 applications for federal, state, and local grants for small businesses in our area. And we did that pro bono, right? So I knew that if I didn't help these small businesses, I wasn't going to have clients at the end of COVID. Right. We needed to make sure that we all got these through. So I love the fact that One Spartanburg led the way in Bring Back the Burg. Right. We're saying, we are here. We're here and we're open and we're ready for business. Let's get back to work. And so I think that we need to encourage people to get back out there as we all get vaccinated, get back out there, spend money, support small businesses, support jobs, and let's get back to work.
Well, okay, getting back to work, let's support small businesses. Now, as we support the small businesses, how do we deal with diversity and inclusion in our community?
Yes, so that gets back to that. I think that the nonprofit world needs to lead in this way, and I think that government needs to be reactive to the people, not the other way around. Government should not be a top-down philosophy. It should be a bottom-up philosophy. We need to let the people lead, and then government needs to react to the people.
Okay. Now, viewers, listeners, Jessica has quoted a few people. She has quoted Jalitha Moore, who was on one of our programs who talked about equity and inclusion. And so if you're not familiar with that, you can always go back to the Humanity Chats with Margie podcast. I think that was the Be Head Champion edition, season 3, episode, I don't know, maybe episode 20. And so go find it and you can get some nuggets from Jalitha. Now,
I've listened to it 3 times. I loved it.
She is amazing, isn't she? She is amazing. And you also alluded to the One Spartanburg initiative of bringing back the Burg, which has been an initiative that has been embraced in Spartanburg. And so thank you for mentioning that. Now we want to talk about empathy. When I say empathy, what comes to your mind?
Empathy, understanding another human's emotions that might be different from yours, and I love that word. That's a good one. I think you're doing a great job of putting that out there and leading in that way, and I thank you. This podcast has been so great for me.
Well, thank you. And thank you for listening to the podcast. Now, when you go into county council, how are you going to bring empathy to our people?
So, I think what needs to happen is that we need to show up and listen, right? So, like I said, the government needs to be reactive to the people. So, county council needs to show up and listen. Whether that be that if someone of a different religion than me invites me to church, I need to show up. If someone from a different background invites me to dinner, I need to show up. If someone invites me to a group that I might not necessarily align with, I need to show up and listen. And I'm ready to show up and I'm ready to listen.
Yes, you are ready to show up. Viewers, look at Jessica right here. This was
Oh,
when she was filing her papers to.
yeah, I was really pregnant.
Yes, yes, I saw that. I was like, "Ooh, she is pregnant." Yes, congratulations on the baby, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, Jessica, there's something that's very important to us, and it is education. As you're in county council with our schools, what are you going to do about education for the residents of your constituency? And that is those of us in Roebuck, Dorman area, the south side of Spartanburg, basically, right? What are you going to be doing for us in District 6?
Okay, so county council doesn't have a lot of control over the education system, right? So the school boards really control the education, but what county council can do is make sure that the schools have the resources they need to succeed, right? So one of the things that I like to talk about is COVID really pushed us into e-learning, right, really fast. And what I know to be true is that in developments in education generally happen at the higher education level. Higher education institutions start one way, and they've been doing e-learning for a long time very efficiently, right? And then it kind of trickles down into the tech schools, and then it kind of trickles down into the high schools and so on. And so I could really see that this is where we're going. And if you're thinking about the boom in our population, our brick and mortar schools are not going to cut it for the next 20 years. We've got to come up with a better way to educate our children. And I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but I'm ready to listen to parents' concerns and make sure that our students have the tools and resources they need to succeed. So one of the things is broadband access. So before COVID, there were many areas in the county who did not have broadband access. And how are you going to throw e-learning at people when they don't have the internet? It was not set up to run that way. And we need to make sure that we're projecting those needs into 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah, projecting those needs. Now, you just mentioned COVID and broadband access. And so I bet you know the next question coming your way. Health.
Yes. So healthcare is an interesting topic that I know that we could probably spend another 30, 40 minutes on, but and I'm really hoping that government will take the federal government will take the lead on that. However, I also think that the free market will correct itself on healthcare if we let it. I don't know what the future holds with healthcare.gov or what the current president's going to do with healthcare. All I can agree on, I'm sure we can both agree, is that the system is broken and we need to come up with a better solution.
Yes, indeed. We need to come up with a better solution. Now, my next question is, and I don't know how this sounds, but we have people encouraging masks. We have people telling us to get our COVID-19 shots. Where do you stand on that?
So I personally will probably get my shot. I am, young and of good health. I have no underlying health conditions, so I'm probably going to be one of the last to be able to get mine. And I really want others who are at risk to get it before me anyway. But I do plan on getting it. My father, who is older. He would hate me if I said elderly. Don't tell him I said that. Who's older did get his, and we're excited about that. I will get in line, I'm sure. And then, but I don't think it needs to be mandatory, right? So I think that people should be able to make that decision for themselves. Again, when people are forced to do something, it creates division, but when they want to, it creates unity. So we want to make sure that people have the option, and that we're not telling people what they can and cannot do.
Well, viewers, listeners, you heard Jessica. She is the Republican candidate running for Spartanburg County District 6. She has told you her thoughts and her vision for Spartanburg County. We've talked about equity, empathy, diversity and inclusion, the economy, employment, jobs, small business, health, education. I cannot believe that we have covered all these and even learn a fun fact about Jessica in 25 minutes. That's record time. And within that time, she threw in some words from, some previous episodes of the podcast that she had listened to. I mean, that's a wealth of information. You must have been a brilliant student, Jessica.
I'm a business major, so I'm a accounting major, so I definitely get to the point real fast. So I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize because I'm learning. I talk a lot. And so I would have probably been beating about the bush and talking about, and then just go back to some other topic. And so thank you for being brief, succinct, and to the point.
Yeah,
now I know you have. Please go ahead.
I said I just love to listen.
That's great. Now, another word that you kept repeating was listening. And so that's good that you like to listen. Now, Jessica, before we wrap up, I know that you have a message for the voters out there, the constituents out there. So I'm going to remove myself, and this is your pitch. This is your elevator pitch that we're probably going to be sharing, that others are going to be sharing. So here you go. Tell them why they should vote for you on March 23rd.
Hey guys, I'm Jessica Coker, and I am the Republican nominee for Spartanburg County Council District 6. We have a special election on March the 23rd, and I would really love to have your vote. On County Council, I want to support small businesses. I want to increase fiscal responsibility, and I want to improve education in neighborhoods. I hope to have your vote on March the 23rd. Thank you. Thank you, Margie.
Wow, that was fast. That was succinct and right to the point. Yeah. Well, I have enjoyed talking to you, Jessica. I am proud that we have women, because your opponent, Lakeisha, is female. And so I'm so proud of both of you for standing up, and it's Women's History Month. And so may the best woman win. And whichever woman wins, it's history for us.
I don't think there's ever been a history of this in this seat for two women against each other. So it is very historical. And I'm just glad that there is going to be a female on county council no matter what, because there were none for the last 5-6 years. It was an all-male county council. So I'm super proud of that.
Well, we don't want to upset the men, but we like to see girls rule. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jessica. This has been a blessing. I truly enjoyed talking to you. Viewers, listeners, now you go to the polls, vote March 23rd for the candidate of your choice. And you know what? There are different places to vote. So just visit scvotes.org to check your polling location and go vote for the candidate of your choice. We are going to make history either way. Thank you so much, Jessica. And I look forward to having another conversation with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Margie.